as we talk about how great of a rivalry it is to watch and to talk about, I welcome our guest today who plays for North Carolina, who has beaten Duke. On the line, live on air, we have Spurs guard and forward, the swingman, Mr. Danny Green. Danny, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Yourself?
We're doing good. We're honored. I know I myself am honored to have you on, but I know my co-host, Rob, I mean, he bleeds Carolina blue, so he definitely made at least one dream come true today. So with that being said, I'm going to let Rob interview you about your time at UNC, and then we'll kick it over to me, and I'll talk to you about your NBA career. So without further ado, Rob, there you go, Danny Green, and you guys have the floor.
Appreciate you.
Danny Green, how are you, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you for coming on, man. It's a pleasure. First off, how excited are you for this game tonight? Well, to watch this game.
I'm very excited. You know, the first game I wasn't able to watch because I had a game of my own, and we're on the road. I'm actually, able to watch this one. We don't have a game today. We have some time off to watch it. And, I think the boys are going to do it. I mean, they have a little motivation, a little fuel now. And then, they need to redeem themselves. The first game, we let it slip away from us. And hopefully this game, they won't let that happen. Hopefully learn from their mistakes in the past. And, they'll hit the gas pedal and not look back.
I agree. Now, what do they have to do tonight to win this game compared to the one that they lost earlier?
I mean, I think they should do the same things they did the first game. It's just that, like I said, once they got a team down, you got to, keep them down. You can't let them back in the game. You got to be more physical, make free throws down the stretch. I think that's what hurt them down the stretch. They lost focus. They didn't rebound the way they wanted to. We couldn't get a basket. We couldn't score a field goal. We need somebody to step up, make the plays we need them to make, and like I said, and make free throws and I guess key rebounds down the stretch, defensive stops. Not letting their guards get off and get open threes. So that's how they came back. We were up, double digits with a couple of minutes to go. There's no way we should let a game, slip away like that.
Right. Now, just going over to Duke a little bit. Now, in that previous game, UNC did everything to win the game, but it just seems that Duke just live and dies off the 3 points. During your time at UNC, what did you guys do as a team, or what did Roy game plan during the time that when the UNC-Duke matchup was coming up?
Well, you're definitely right. They do live and die from the three, and we knew that then and know that now. They've always been a very good three-point shooting team, and now even better, more so, they have a lot more guards. They still have some bigs inside that can play as well. But, when it comes to ACC play, and especially a big game like Duke-Carolina game, everybody knows everybody's plays. So a lot of times the plays are not going to execute as well. It's really the players. The players are going to have to go out and play and scrap and do all the little things and, play basketball really pretty much. Because, like I said, other teams know each other's plays and know what's going to happen. We know how to cover them. And I think mainly it's just, who's going to play, who's going to show up, who's going to be the tougher team, to pull through. And there wasn't a real, game plan beside the fact that, defensively we should get this guy, not let him shoot up in threes or run him off the line or play him, in the post better or keep him off the glass. All simple things that everybody knows. But other than that, you got to play basketball in those type games.
In your eyes, Danny, who needs to have the most impact game tonight for the Tar Heels?
I think the whole team, starting five, will have a number of ways of impacting the game. I think Kendall could do a great job of impacting, the tempo, controlling the tempo of the game. I think Harrison needs to continue to do what he's been doing, stepping up, making big shots for us and playing inside. I think John Henson and Talzella should do the same inside. They need to step up, make some big plays, box out, get some rebounds, run the floor, get some offensive rebounds, and make it tough on their team. And other guards coming up the bench, do their part by knocking down shots and chasing their guards and not letting them get open looks. So I think it's key for everybody to step up and play in a game like this, but I think it's really key for our bigs tonight to, step up. Tyler Zeller and John Henson, I think it's a big game for them tonight.
Okay. Now, Danny, looking at this, you played in 4 wins at Cameron Indoor. You're the only player to do that, along with your teammate Tyler Hansbrough and a player now that you're playing with, Tim Duncan. Well, what was the success at playing in Cameron? I know it's hot in there. I know it's hostile. I mean, they do turn up that temperature in there. Am I right?
Yeah, it's very hostile. You know, fans are, all in your face. They got a bunch of chants and signs and stuff. It's kind of funny to see it. But, our team, we love playing on the road, especially in an environment like that. We always got amped up to play in that type of environment. So when we came out there, we played and we wanted to, beat them as bad as we could, with their fans, talking all that trash talk they do during the game. So it was more motivation, but also it's crazy. It's very loud, and you can't really hear the coaches or can't hear anybody calling plays, but you got to play basketball.
I must say, what is it like listening to Roy Williams scream and yell during a timeout?
He's very intense on the court. Off the court, very laid back guy, very calm, cool, and collected. But during the games, he's very intense. He wants you to be very intense every minute of the game, especially defensively. He wants you to get stops and be intense. So in the game, if you're not doing that, he will let you know for sure. You need to pick it up, and he will get on you. He'll yell in the timeouts, and especially like I said, in an environment like that, you have to yell because you can barely hear the whistle blow when the referee's calls. So he's going to be yelling a little bit, I'm sure, tonight, and hopefully not as much as he has to, or not as much as last time or last game. If they do what they're supposed to do and take care of business, hopefully coach won't have to yell as much.
When he takes off those glasses, it don't mean anything?
Yeah, he takes off the glasses and the jacket. It's on. He's going to get deep in the stands and start screaming and yelling. So that's how it goes.
Uh-huh. How much did he impact your defense, Danny? I know you're a great defensive player during your 4 years there. How much of an impact did he help you on your defense?
A lot. I mean, a lot of the principles that we did there is a lot we do here in San Antonio, and throughout the the league, a lot of teams do the same things. We did a lot of practicing defensive stations and stuff there, and because it's not new to me and I'm used to doing it, I've done it for so many years. It comes second nature to me here, and I'm easy to adjust and adapt to many different systems. So it's helped my game a lot, especially on the defensive end of the floor, and being able to guard tougher guards and be able to chase them off screens and get over pick and rolls and guard many different coverages because I've learned it before I got here. So it's definitely helped my game a lot.
What was it like playing in the Dean Dome?
It was great, man. It was amazing. You got 22,000, 21,750, I believe the number is, standing up, yelling, cheering your name, and getting really loud for you, So it was every night and night out we had sellout crowds, and they would support us to the fullest. And it was a great environment, and, I miss playing there. But like I said, I had a lot of fun, and you couldn't ask for a better environment to play in as a kid.
Was there more that you wanted to prove at your time at UNC? I mean, you played in 145 games. You won 123. That sets the UNC record previously held by Sam Perkins. Did you accomplish everything that you wanted at your time at the University of North Carolina?
Definitely. We won a national championship, and that was the most important thing for me, winning games. I would like to have gotten more, but, I got the national championship I wanted in my senior year, won a couple ACC titles, regular season titles, and, I had a great time with my teammates, and, I got a chance to play a good amount of minutes and move on to the next level. I'm one of the lucky ones, so I can't ask for a better career or a better, situation there. So I definitely enjoyed my time. There's nothing that I regret when I was there.
All right. Well, I know my host right here, Mike Pendleton, wants to ask you some few things.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, Danny. So we covered your time at UNC. The one thing that I want to ask, as we transition into you going into the NBA, is technically, as I'm watching it on SportsCenter this morning, you were technically a part of the last time blood was drawn in the Duke-UNC game when your teammate Hansbrough was knocked in the nose by Gerald Henderson. What was that feeling like for you? I mean, obviously you didn't have blood dripping down your face, but was it more of all right, game's on? I mean, obviously the game's always on when it's Duke Carolina, but was the blood drawn actually just a little bit more of, anticipation to go out and slap these guys right back?
I think that I'm sure there has been blood drawn since then and many games previous or after that as well. But, of course, that one is more memorable because it was Tyler and it was a lot of blood. And I think when I saw it, or when everybody saw it happen, most people were in shock and they didn't, see it coming or expect that to happen, especially at that point in the game. And when something like that does happen, of course, you want to protect your teammate. Many of us were frustrated and upset about it. But, the right thing to do is not fight over it or whatever, but get them back on the court. So whenever we can, every chance we got, we wanted to beat them as bad as we could. And I'm sure those games get real physical. So when they play physical, we want to play physical right back. And, we wanted to beat them as badly as we could every time we stepped on the floor with those guys.
Right. Well, so after your UNC career, really, if you look at it, you entered one of the most successful draft classes in recent memory, depending if you want to count Blake Griffin in there or not. But along with the guys like Griffin and Harden, it's not just some top lottery picks. Your teammates, Ty Lawson went, Tyler Hansbrough went, and then some second-round guys. Your teammate now in the Spurs, there's Juan Blair, Joey Meeks, just a lot of guys in the second round. Did it really matter to you that you were drafted in the second round, or was it just more of, at least I was drafted?
Of course, every kid wants to get drafted in the first round. They want to go as high as possible. So, yeah, I definitely want to be a first-round pick. But, like I said, it didn't matter to me. I just want to be drafted and play in the NBA, and I got that opportunity, by Cleveland. They drafted me in the second round. I mean, they said I wanted to be drafted first round, but, I was happy to be drafted, and they said, there's only 60 people in the world that get drafted. And I was in the top 60, and, I could say that. Not many people could say that. So I was very excited and happy. And I knew that wasn't where the work was done. Everything was just beginning. So I still had to, work hard in practices and, to try to make the team and try to stick. So I knew I had a lot ahead of me. So, I got the opportunity. I got drafted, and I tried to take advantage as much as possible. And, Cleveland gave me an opportunity to play there for a year and with, some greats on that team. I was lucky to be on a team like that, and I'm lucky to be on a team where I'm at now. I was lucky to be on teams with winning percentages and winning so many games. So, the last 2 years I've been on teams that won 60-plus games. So, I would say I've had it pretty good.
You go from a popular franchise with LeBron James to a historic franchise with Tim Duncan, and obviously you come from a historic college. Do you realize the footsteps of players that you have followed in as far as, Michael Jordan, Vince Carter, Gary Stackhouse in North Carolina, LeBron James in Cleveland, and then having guards and forwards like Duncan and Ginobili on your team now? Does that give you a little more extra motivation to go out and be great just like people before you were?
Definitely. I mean, I think even growing up as a kid watching, the greats play as well, Mike and those guys, and, watching Kobe even now, watching him now, and LeBron, and be able to play with those guys on their team and practice those guys, only makes you better. Learning from them, I was just a sponge. My first year, I was just trying to be a sponge and learn as much as I could from all those guys in Cleveland. And the same here, I'm, learning and watching, and they're teaching me, and they're doing a great job of helping me grow as a player and as a person as well. So, like I said, I've been very lucky and very fortunate to be on these teams and play with these, these guys. They're pretty good. They're actually great, and I couldn't ask for a better, situation for myself.
What does Greg Popovich really mean to you, not just as a player on his team, but as a person in your life in general? He's one of the most historic coaches in the NBA. What has he really meant to you?
He's a great, great teacher, great coach, and I've grown to understand why he's so great and why they win so much, because he does a great job of, getting people to understand their roles and what they should be doing, and getting players to follow his lead. And like I said, to him, he's a great role model, great teacher, and he's very strict and disciplined with how he wants things done, and I think that's why he's so successful. So to me, he's meant a lot. He's helped me grow. He's taught me a lot, and he's just I think, an icon for most people, most coaches, most players. He just represents everything about professionalism and winning. So like I said, I couldn't ask for a better situation of being here and learning from the greatest, and playing with the greats like Timmy and Tony and Manu, and having Pop as a coach. He's definitely a Hall of Fame coach, and like I said, I'm just enjoying it while I can and learn as much as I can while I can. Try to be, part of that and hopefully follow in their footsteps.
And as we talk about you currently, with the Spurs, I got to ask you, how's the shoulder feeling right now?
It's okay. It was sore the first couple of days. It still gets sore here and there, but now it's pretty good. I'm fine. When it wants to keep some heat on it, it's fine. I can play with it, and nobody's ever had before. Everybody gets bumps and bruises. Saying so. It's a long season, but a shorter season at the same time. They shortened the games, many games back to back to back. So it's going to be bumps and bruises, of course, and many injuries. So I'm lucky that I'm still healthy and try to stay healthy. And just bumps and bruises is all I have, because those can be taken care of easily, and those you can play with. So I'm going to try to continue to play with those and grind out and hopefully get healthy soon and 100%. But either way, there's nothing serious that I can play with, so I'll be fine.
You talk about, the bumps and bruises through an NBA season, and your teammate Manu Ginobili has taken plenty. And obviously you never wish injury upon anyone, and especially your own teammate. But your opportunities have really shined with Manu being out. And it's not just you filling up the points, but you're grabbing rebounds, assists, steals. What has really changed your game, to get to this level that you're at now? Have you done anything different? Is it because of the Spurs? What has really changed your entire game this year?
I wouldn't say anything has changed. I've always been the same player I am. I've played different roles throughout different, systems, different years. And in here, my role is to bring energy and play good defense. And I think being here in the system from last year has helped me, learn the offense a lot better and be comfortable in the system. And when I'm out there, just bring energy, like I said, on defense. Offensively, Pop is not very strict on, what goes on offensively. But you can make sure you play. If you play defense, you'll play for him. So, like I said, my role has changed, but nothing has really changed for me as a player. I've just, been more intense, more focused, and try to take advantage, like I said, of the injuries that have happened. Somebody has to step up, and my mindset is, why not me? Why not us young guys? Because they look at the young guys and they don't trust us too much yet. But I think Pop has grown more trust in us over the past month or two, because he's playing us a lot more. So, and we've been winning games. And like I said, just trying to take advantage of the opportunity and being more intense and focused.
What is Danny Green's personal goal as we move forward towards the end of this year's NBA season? What is your goal?
I want to stay consistent, get better each game, stay consistent defensively, play great defense, game in, game out, offensively get more comfortable in the system, and like I said, just get better each game, and by the end of the season, the playoff time, be my best, playing my best basketball, and be able to help the team, win whatever, whoever's around, whoever's not injured, whoever's playing, who's not playing, because you never know what's going to happen. Last year, we had injuries in the playoffs, and guys came back, and they weren't 100% healthy, so like I said, I just want to be playing my best basketball when playoff time comes and be able to help my team win and be, the best player I can be at the end of the year.
All right, now I got some fun questions. We've been serious this entire time, so now we can relax. We can make it a little bit of fun.
All right.
I know that you are very well known for this at North Carolina. So I'm going to ask before I ask about it, I want to ask you, who's the best dancer on the Spurs?
On the Spurs?
Yep.
I don't know. We don't do too much dancing here. We don't have a lot of dancers here. I don't know. I couldn't say. We don't do much dancing on the sideline and stuff like that. Some guys go out here and there, but like I said, we don't have too many of those guys that do a lot of stuff. I would have to say, outside of myself, DeJuan is probably the only person I've seen dance and that has some rhythm. So, I couldn't really speak for anybody else. Okay,
well, now we got to have you speak about yourself. Your pregame ritual in North Carolina, the dance. What really brought that all along for you? What was that more just something that you love to do, or was it something that gets you hyped before a game? What was the dance all about?
No, people have asked us many times throughout the years. It was nothing that I brought on. It was there before I got. They always play the music every game. We would do it my freshman year. We would listen to it. We would do it as a team. It'd be more of a team thing. It wouldn't be as wild, but it was us goofing around the sideline. Same thing my sophomore year. A couple of guys would do it. We all do it on the sideline, have some fun with it. And I think by my junior year, a lot of the guys had left that would do it with me on the sideline and had, either left or was in the starting lineup. So, and it kind of became a solo thing, but we still would have fun. A lot of guys on the sideline would do it with me, but I think they just kind of, blew it up a little bit more because, I was playing more, and I was playing pretty good at that time. My junior year, I was playing good. I was, I guess, one of the better six men coming off the bench, and, I guess they recognized me as one of the guys that dances on the sideline. But it was not nothing that I brought along. It was a thing that a team brought along, and we had fun doing it, and something we just continued.
What does Danny Green do on a day off when there's no game? Like, if you're completely healthy, what do you do during your time off?
You mean like off season or like just days off without games?
Just days off.
Well, right now, do interviews and stuff like that, talking to you guys, doing some run around, run some errands, clean up the house, get some stuff for the apartment, watch TV, go to the movies, eat food, rest up, sleep, ice, a lot of little things, rehabbing mostly and stretching and sleeping and, trying to do whatever I can while I have the free time.
And what about during the off season? Is there one thing you like to do? Do you go away on vacation somewhere, or do you do different things?
I haven't the last couple of years recently. Mostly the summertime I've been working out with the teams and doing summer league and stuff like that. Hopefully this summer I might be able to take a vacation, but I usually do a number of different things. Do a lot of traveling and trying to catch up and meet old friends and running camps and things like that. So that's my off season consists of. Camps and traveling, and working out, of course.
I gotta ask, you seem very humble, you seem very serious, and, just grateful for everything. When's the last time you talked to Greg Paulus?
I couldn't say. Probably the last time that I seen him, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Last time I seen him, I think we did that, the barnstorming thing. That was our senior year. We all, was about to graduate the seniors. We had to do that with the Duke players as well. So we go barnstorming around North Carolina, playing in different cities, and of course we all played in the same team. We played at the high school teams and other, guys throughout different, towns and cities in North Carolina. So I think that was the last time that I've seen him and spoke to him.
Was it ever awkward after the dunk on him? I mean, obviously everyone has a dunk moment, but, I mean, that was more than a poster. You Blake Griffin'd him. Was it awkward?
Yeah. I don't think, no, it wasn't too awkward. Like I said, as much as we really dislike Duke, off the court, I think there's a mutual respect for each other. We see those guys, we say hello, we speak. We chatted up in high school. We all played against each other, played with some of those guys in high school. But, when we're on that floor, once you become a Dookie, you're not on the good side of a Tar Heel. So when you get on the floor, it's war. When we're off the floor, we still don't like him too much, but at the same time, we show respect and we say hello. Some of you have respect for more than others, but as I said, when I was talking to him, I knew him before he got to Duke. He's from New York. He played in New York. Just said what's up, hello. We had fun playing the barnstorming with the kids, so it wasn't too awkward, but he brought it up once or twice or something, making jokes about himself. He's a real laid-back guy. He makes jokes. He's cool. He's humble as well. But so we just had a good time, playing with the kids. That's what it was about. So it wasn't too awkward.
All right, I have a challenge question here for you. You thrive yourself on defense. The first thing is you cannot say Kobe or LeBron. Who is the toughest guy for you to defend one-on-one during a game?
Well, I haven't had a chance to defend. Well, I've defended LeBron, but I haven't got a chance to defend Kobe like that. But I wouldn't have said those two guys. I would have to say Kevin Durant, Kevin Martin, James Harden. Those guys would probably be my toughest challenges. Shooters that can make plays as well. When you're a shooter and that can draw fouls, Kevin Martin's really good at drawing fouls, and he's a very good shooter. So it's hard to get physical with him and chase him and, make him miss shots. And a guy like James Harden's very strong. He gets to the basket, knows how to draw fouls, and he can knock down shots. Kevin Durant is 6'11". You're not going to block his shots, so it's hard to phase him. But trying to get up in him and try to, make him do something that he doesn't want to do is tough, especially when he knows how to draw fouls. So I think Kevin Durant is probably the toughest guy in the league to guard, by far.
I'm going to jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
Danny, now, who was the fastest player you played with on the court?
The fastest player I played with on the court, I would say tell us. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. He is a road runner on the floor, and that's how we, kept our points high at Carolina. We had to keep up with him in order to, get the ball. If you want the ball, you got to keep up with him or try to run up ahead of him. But we would get up and down that floor, and that's why, we stayed in the 90s and the hundreds, and we averaged a high amount of points, and that's because of him. He was very fast with the ball, and he is a very good point guard. So it separates him from the rest of the point guards.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so as you move forward, looking at the playoff picture here, obviously, you said Kevin Durant's the toughest player in the league to guard. What do you think is going to be the Spurs, besides just winning games, the Spurs mindset, your team's mindset of going into the playoffs and who you might have to face? Is there one team that you would particularly like to face in the first round, or do you just want to just get there and then get by through the wins?
I don't think we're looking that far ahead right now. Right now, it's only in the month of March. We still have another month of April before we get to the playoffs. But, as of right now, of course, every team wants the easier route or the easier road. But in this league, in the NBA, there is no easy road or easy route. So we're going to try and, keep winning games to where we get a higher seed to play, one of the weaker teams in the conference. But at the same time, like I said, it's never an easy road. But we haven't looked that far ahead. So right now we're just trying to maintain and consistent and continue to get better each day and each game and win games. In the regular season is important now so that we can have a good season in the playoffs and make our road a little easier than it has to be.
All right, we got a couple of fan questions coming in here. One of them, I know this might be a weird question to ask. Let's say Danny Green's career takes off from here. You get an Olympic invite. Who would you rather play for, Coach K or Coach Roy Williams?
What kind of question is that? What do you think?
I just had to ask because if you're ever faced with the situation, going to the Olympic team and Coach K still coaching, is there going to be any, weird vibes about that?
I don't think so. They're both great coaches, but of course if I had the choice, it would be my coach, of course. But, at the same time, if I get any type of invite to an Olympic team, I'd be honored. So it wouldn't matter who the coach was. But like I said, Coach Williams, by far, that's a no-brainer.
What's Danny Green's pregame routine?
I don't have one. I'm not superstitious or anything like that. We have a workout, do a little, stuff in the weight room, stretch, and get taped. And that's it, get dressed and relax and just do some stretching. That's it. Read up on other teams, see what's going on, and, see what our game plan is. That's pretty much it.
I got you. You're very, very game-focused and well-mannered. But I got to ask you, obviously I think I know who you're picking, but can I get a score prediction for you in tonight's game?
In tonight's game?
In tonight's game.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be low. I think it'll probably be in the, 70s, 80 type game. But, I'm going to pick Carolina by, 10 plus. I'm going to think Carolina, maybe like 84 to 71, 72. I don't know. Okay.
Like them in a blowout. I like that. I like that a lot.
I won't say a blowout. I'm going to say 84, 70,
like
76. 84, 76. They probably wouldn't like that. 84, 76. That's what I'll say.
It seems like, obviously, with the very well tradition that you have playing at North Carolina, are you into a lot of college basketball?
When I get the chance to watch it, yeah, but mostly ACC. I watch more than any. I'm biased, of course, towards ACC, and I watch some of the Big East stuff. But if I'm not watching NBA stuff, it's usually just Carolina, and where my brother plays at University of San Francisco. Those are the college games that I only catch or make an effort to catch. Other than that, try to see what's going on in the NBA, see who's doing what. And, try to keep up on, knowing the personnel. I think that's the biggest thing on adjusting to NBA is knowing your personnel. So, but that's not, yeah. Say again.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Who is the most impressive player in college to you at this point in the season?
At this point in the season, most impressive player in college. That's a tough one to say. Like I said, I haven't been watching a lot of college ball. like that. There's some teams that have shocked me and personally have gone undefeated when I didn't expect them to, or won a lot of games. And Syracuse is doing a good job. Murray State, I was watching them earlier. They've done a good job this year. And the conferences are different, of course, but I couldn't say there's a specific one player that I was very impressed with, and say because all I do is really watch is Carolina, and of course San Francisco, where my brother plays for. So I couldn't really tell you.
Your brother's got a big game tonight. Obviously, I'm sure you spoke to him earlier today. San Francisco up against St. Mary's, ranked 21 in the nation. What would your words of advice, or what did you tell him before tonight's game?
I'd say good luck. Here he knows, how I think, my mindset of thinking. We both think very much alike. Just tell him good luck. Be aggressive. And leave it all on the floor. It's still your last year, it's your senior year. Have fun with it, enjoy it, but at the same time, leave it all on the floor and be aggressive. Don't go down fighting. He already knows that because that's how he plays. So all I do is tell him good luck. Have fun.
All right, I got to put you on the spot. It's like you're a hard guy to break here. So I got to see if you can piss off one of the people in your family. Who's the better basketball player, your brother or your cousin Gerald Green?
My brother or my cousin Gerald Green?
Yep.
I'm not trying to. I don't think anybody can mad at me answering questions like that in my family. But I said Gerald. Me and Gerald haven't been in contact that much often as of late. He's been all around. He's a great player. And I consider one of the greater players. I think just for him it was all getting down systems and mentally for the game. But talent-wise, Gerald had the most talent that I've seen in a while. He's very athletic and can shoot the basketball. So if I had to pick, I would say Gerald. My brother would probably pick the same, but I mean, right now he has a chance to do something if he does well in his tournament, and if they make the tournament, he can do something and prove me wrong. But I'm probably going to say Gerald.
Is there any special thing about being from New York? There's been tons of players lately. You look at, Kemba Walker, drafted by the Bobcats, Jimmer Fredette recently. A lot of these guys coming out of New York. Obviously, New York is a very well-known, state for basketball. Is there something about New York? Is it something in the water, or what is it about being in New York and being a great player like yourselves and the other guys that I mentioned?
Well, like the other guys, a lot of them grow up differently, and I think just coming from New York is so diverse, and New York has a lot going on. It's not, I'm not going to talk about it like that, but I think you have to be very mentally tough, to come out of New York, especially playing. But a lot of guys play basketball. New York is so overly populated. There's a lot of guys, a lot of kids, a lot of people, trying to get that dream, and for you to come out on top, you have to be very tough. And like I said, playing from borough to borough and playing all over New York, there's a lot of guys that you get into a lot of fights. You see a lot of guys talking trash. And New York is just, that state that everybody thinks of. It's like, of course, everybody thinks the Mecca where, everything is happening, everything is going on. And, a lot of guys talking trash and, a lot of, fighting and stuff with tough guys pretty much. So I think just kids from New York come out with a mental toughness, especially if you can make it out of New York and to the next level. They have a mental toughness that, some other guys may not have. I think it's just a different type of swag that they have coming from, New York.
Since we did have a special friend help us out, getting a hold of you, I think he would be mad if we didn't ask about him, have you give him a little compliment. What has your trainer done for you? Kelly, what has he brought to your game? And,
Britt.
Yeah.
Britt, he's a great dude, man. Always been a fan of Britt. He was there when, I didn't have a job, and I was, trying to get into the D-League, and I was supposed to go to Italy, et cetera. He's always been there working me out, and, he's got my body healthy. There was one summer I sprained my ankles. My ankles weren't strong enough. He's helped me rehab them. He's helped me, just get stronger. He was the weight room guy that I did help my speed and my explosiveness. So, and also, help keep my body healthy. So, he's done a great job with that, and he's done a great job of making me stronger. And of course, mentally tough. That's what he does. And on the court, I had a different guy that I work with, Jerry Powell. He's in New York as well. So I work with both of those guys. on the court and off the court with Britt in the weight room, and they've done a great job of, getting me where I need to be.
The one thing I like to talk about is success stories, and really, but not really, you've had a great one. Like you said, coming from New York, where you really grow up fast and you got to be tough mentally and physically. You're at the peak of your collegiate career at North Carolina. Get drafted by Cleveland. Obviously, some guy named LeBron was there. I've never heard of him before that. And then, you get waived. Then you get signed by the Spurs and you get waived again. And now you're back and you are succeeding. You were even talked about as one of the best fantasy basketball pickups. Not sure if you're into that at all recently. What would you say to those who may be struggling in the D-League right now, or just the little kids who are trying to make it out there, the high school kids, from someone who's been, to UNC, to the D-League, just like you said, once you're jobless? So what would you tell anybody out there who's trying to make it?
Never give up on your dreams. Anything is always possible, and you never know when opportunity is going to come along. You keep, staying positive and keep working. Good things will come. And like I said, anything, I know it sounds cliche and unoriginal, but anything can happen. You put your mind to it. You can do anything. You put your mind to it. You just have to be, be tough, focus in, keep at it, and, something good will come through.
All right, I'm going to pass you over to Rob, and, obviously we've had you on here for a while, so I don't want to keep you too long, but I'm going to pass you over to Rob to see if he's got anything, and we'll wrap this up.
All right.
Danny, now you talked about the ACC. Why do some people think that the Big East is more competitive than the ACC?
I don't know. They have some great teams. Got great teams with great history. Of course, UConn won the last national championship, and a couple in this decade, and Syracuse, another great school with a great history. Of course, everybody looks at St. John's as a pretty good school, and they've had some history as well. They got a couple schools that are pretty good. In the last couple of years, a lot of those schools have been ranked. Pitt was really good at one point. Even Notre Dame was really good at one point. They had a lot of teams. Louisville, Coach Pitino. They've had a lot of teams, a lot of guys come out of there with some history. So they always give them that respect. But I always, I'm biased. I always think the ACC is the best conference. But I couldn't really tell you why other people would think that. I think it's just respecting, the history that they've had there in the Big East.
I agree. That's good points that you put right there. Now, I'm going to go back to why we're talking and the UNC and the Duke. Now, looking back, what's different about the 2008-2009 team you were on compared to today's team?
Our team, our 2009 team, to today's team?
Yes.
I don't know. I think that they are very just as talented. They have a lot of talent. They're very talented. I think we just had, guys that are a little more scrappier. We had a little more of an edge on us, we had a chip on our shoulder. We had a little more toughness to us. And I think the team now is getting it, now. I mean, we were a little more experienced. Of course, we had some more seniors. We had some more juniors. And, of course, they could be more experienced, too. But, like I said, they have all the talent, and I think we just had a little more edge. And we had a chip on our shoulder. We had more to prove, especially after coming from a tough loss in the Final Four against Kansas. So we were very motivated. And then I said, I think this team is starting to grow and get that. And our chemistry was there. I think the chemistry with the team is pretty good, but it wasn't as good as ours. We hung out, off the court just as much as we did on the court. And I think, this team did the same. And I think they do hang out a little bit here and there, but I don't think they hung out as much as we did. I think the chemistry would be even better. So, we'll see what happens. It is March now. We'll see what happens at the end of March. All it takes is 6 games. But we got to get on a roll at the right time and get a little lucky, and anything can happen.
Okay. Danny, I just wanted to really say thank you for being on here, man. You fulfilled my dreams when I watched the 2009 championship, man. I wish I was in your shoes, man, when you're cutting down the net and just being around that. I mean, just watching the game brought tears in my eyes, man. I'm a diehard fan in football, basketball, baseball. I follow North Carolina through all sports, whether it's baseball, basketball. I mean, I watched the baseball when they lost because the ground ball to the second baseman and he missed it. I follow North Carolina through all sports, and I just want to say thank you, man, for bringing hope to North Carolina every game and every year, that they're always competitive and just being a fan of that, knowing that your team can win that championship. And really, I just wanted to just thank you, man, because it's an honor to watch North Carolina every single time it's on TV. It's nothing's better than watching the Tar Heels as a Tar Heel fan. I mean,
yeah, man, it is. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. And yeah, you're right. I agree, and I appreciate you guys having me on the show. You know, it was a great time out, and talking. I guess look back on some things. So I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for the support.
Also, to put out there, I'm glad that you stayed the Tar Heel at 4 years, because, man, when you stay there longer, things will benefit you. And watching the Tar Heels every year, I just question players when they go into the draft, because, I mean, I've been watching North Carolina since I was 8 years old, man. I could tell you a lot of players that chose the wrong time to go into the draft, and I'm glad that you went into the draft after your senior year, you won the championship, and now you're starting to see light right now in the NBA, and I'm really happy for you, man, and I'm going to keep following you wherever you go. And I just hope the best to you, and hopefully you won a national championship. The next thing is to win an NBA championship, man. I wish you the best of luck. And thank you for being on here.
Anytime, man. Thank you.
Danny, before we let you go, the one thing I always have our guests do is if you could kind of just plug us, because we're trying to come up. I understand. You respect the grind and the hustle, and we're just trying to do the same thing as well. So before we let you go, if you could just say, this is Danny Green from the Spurs, and you're listening to Full Scale Sports Radio.
What is it? What sports radio?
Full Scale Sports Radio.
Full Scale?
Yep.
All right. You just let me know when you want me to say it.
You can go ahead right now.
All right. Well, this is Danny Green with the San Antonio Spurs, and you're listening to Full Scale on Sports Radio.
Danny, I can't tell you, just like Rob, I remember the Ty Lawson championship with you guys, and the Raymond Felton Tar Heels. Just being a Tar Heel fan as well, I've kind of shied away from basketball recently. I'm not even going to lie, but this is one of those moments where you go, damn, I was a little kid and he was balling out, and to be able to talk with you, you definitely have our best wishes. And we hope to stay in contact with you, and, we'd love to have you on again.
Thank you guys, appreciate it, and we will do something sure in the future.
Thank you.
All right, Danny Green, San Antonio Spurs.